Story recapped here. Today, I'm going to explain an action, adventure, sci-fi film called Stargate. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take care. In a North African settlement in 8000 BC, tribespeople are woken up by bright lights and loud humming. A spacecraft descends upon them, and they start running. A young man sees the craft, and without fear or hesitation, he walks up to the alien ship, getting bombarded by bright lights. It is 1928 in Egypt, and an archaeologist arrives at a dig site with his daughter. A man welcomes him, excited to show the archaeologist the latest dig find. They arrive at a circular tablet formation with hieroglyphs and other strange carvings. As the men examine the carvings, the archaeologist's daughter finds a gold necklace with an Egyptian rune. Nearby, workers are erecting a massive circular structure. The archaeologist notes that this is nothing he has ever seen before. In the present day, the archaeologist's daughter, Catherine Langford, is now an older woman making her way to a scientific gathering. At this event, Egyptologist and linguist Daniel Jackson presents his claim that the Egyptian pyramids were built at a much earlier date than currently accepted. The audience, finding his theories ridiculous, leaves one by one. Outside, Catherine invites Daniel into her car and offers him a job to decipher ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs on the circular tablets her father found. Catherine tells him that this could be his chance to prove his theories. Military personnel arrive at a suburban home and inform Colonel Jack O'Neill that he's being reactivated to serve in the army. Jack cradles a gun and hides it when the soldiers knock. The soldiers tell him why they came and he stays quiet. While leaving, one of the men reveals that Jack has lost his young son to an accidental gun discharge. Daniel arrives at a top-secret military installation and sees the circular stone tablet with hieroglyphs. He's informed that the 7 center carvings are yet to be deciphered, and that's the reason he's there. Daniel then sees a board with hieroglyph translations and sees errors. He immediately goes to correct everything and produces a translation about the sun god, Ra. Using a Stargate, one of the scientists informs Daniel that they have found a significant artifact in the sands, something dating back 10,000 years, much more ancient than the Egyptians. Jack enters and informs everyone that he now has sole supervision over the entire project. The scientists are confused, and Catherine asks the colonel to clarify. She had the belief that she had complete autonomy over the project, but Jack informs her that the higher-ups have changed their minds. The colonel then adds that his presence is only required if the project achieves its goal. Daniel works on the translation and exhausts all possible language ciphers he knows, but still can't come up with a solid translation. While going for a coffee break, he sees a star constellation and recognizes that one of the 7 symbols is shaped similarly. With this discovery, Daniel is called to brief the military heads. He presents his findings and shows that 6 of the symbols correspond to coordinates for a location, with the 7th symbol indicating a place of origin. One scientist protests, saying the 7th symbol is not on the device they were experimenting on. Daniel asks what device he's pertaining to, and they open a wall to show Daniel what the project has been centered on. In the next room, the enormous circular hollow stone found in Egypt has been erected and attached to the building's power. It looks alien in origin and appears to be some sort of portal doorway. Catherine tells Daniel that this is the Stargate earlier mentioned in the translation. Catherine explains that the Stargate is made of a mineral not present on Earth. A team of scientists inputs the symbols Daniel had discovered. Daniel spots the 7th symbol on the device, and the other scientist concurs. They place the symbols in, and with each symbol locking into place, the room hums and shakes. The scientists lock in the 7th symbol, and the Stargate bursts open. A portal appears, and everyone is dumbfounded. They then take a robotic rover equipped with a camera and send it into Stargate. As the rover enters, it sends a location in a galaxy on the farthest edges of the known universe. The probe then suddenly loses its signal, but luckily some footage has been transmitted. From the robot's readings, they see there's also a Stargate on the opposite side, that they assume functions in the same way. Atmospheric readings also indicate that whatever planet the rover has been transported to has the same atmospheric conditions as Earth. The military considers that they may have to abort as the project's primary goal is to perform surveillance. The team that will perform reconnaissance must decipher the markings and access the Stargate from the opposite side to get back home. With the information they've gathered, they're uncertain they'll be able to achieve that. Daniel immediately speaks up and says he may be able to help. The military men take his word and enroll him in the reconnaissance team. As Daniel prepares for the trip, Catherine gives him the necklace she found at the dig site for good luck. The scientists turn the Stargate on again, and a group of soldiers enters it one by one. Daniel is the last to enter, and before he does so, stares in awe and excitement at what he's about to experience. A new world behind the Stargate. He'll be part of one of the first humans ever to enter. He steps in and is immediately transported through millions of miles in a matter of seconds. The team emerges on the other side and gets to work in surveying the area. They step out into what appears to be an old stone temple and see that they're in the middle of a desert. They then see a large stone pyramid dwarfing the temple they exited from. Jack asks Daniel how long it'd take to get the Stargate working, but Daniel confesses confesses that he has no idea how to get the machine to work. He assumed that the symbols they'd need for the Stargate to work would be readily available. Unlike the Stargate back on Earth, he still needs to find the 7 symbols required for a trip home. One of the soldiers understandably shouts at Daniel and pushes him, but Jack steps in and orders the man to set up a base camp. Inside the temple, Jack initializes some sort of beeping device with a timer but hides it immediately when one of the soldiers enters. Back outside, Daniel fixes his belongings, and one of the soldiers bullies him, throwing his luggage out. Bugs spewing out. Daniel understands their frustration and gathers his things. In the distance, he sees some kind of animal gazing. He approaches it and tries to pet it. Luckily for him, the animal is tamed and doesn't think of him as a threat. Jack and 2 other soldiers see him and call out to him. Daniel assures them that the animal is harmless and it's got a harness, indicating that it's domesticated. The animal gets startled and its harness gets tangled with Daniel's foot. It bolts and Daniel gets dragged. Jack and the soldiers chase after him, but the animal runs too fast. They finally catch up to Daniel, but Jack spots something over the hill. The soldiers reposition on top of the hill, and they're all shocked to see a sprawling community of people that look like humans. From what they can see, the location seems to look like a mine. The miners see them, and they all stop. The group starts approaching the miners, and one of the miners sees Daniel's necklace. He shouts to the other miners, and they all start bowing to Daniel. Jack approaches one of the young men, a teenager, Skara, and runs to retrieve the village elder. One of Jack's men takes a reading of the rock they're mining and sees that it consists of the same material the Stargate is made of. The village elder Kasuf approaches and welcomes the men. He offers a drink, and Daniel offers a chocolate bar in return. The exchange proves positive, and both parties are on good terms. Jack asks Daniel to translate, but Daniel says he can't decipher what kind of language they're speaking. He theorizes it could be a variant of the Egyptian language, but isn't sure. Jack then radios to the men back at the base camp and informs them they'll be staying a little longer. The whole mining group then travels to a large town, almost a city, made entirely of mud and brick houses. Daniel and the group are welcomed, greeted with hospitality, and are treated as guests of honor. They arrive at a gathering place, and the elder reveals an overhanging brass plate with a symbol. Daniel identifies it as the symbol for the Egyptian sun god, Ra. Jack realizes the villagers have been welcoming because of the necklace Daniel is wearing, which has the same symbol. An alarm blares and everyone rushes out. Jack tries radioing base camp, but a massive sandstorm overruns the camp. The city gates are closed, but Jack misunderstands, thinking the villagers are becoming hostile. They take several villagers hostage and fire warning shots. Skara tries to calm the soldiers down and shows Jack the reason they're closing the gates. He sees the approaching sandstorm and orders his men to stand down. That evening, the elders in Daniel's group gather for a feast. Jack theorizes that since the villagers could identify the Egyptian symbol for Ra, then it would stand for reason that they may know more Egyptian symbols, specifically the symbols needed for initiating the Stargate. Daniel approaches Kasuf and tries to communicate by drawing something in the sand. Kasuf panics and erases the writing. He then orders everyone out. Daniel guesses that writing of any kind must be forbidden in their culture. Kasuf then orders the women to take Daniel away, and they do so, laughing and teasing Daniel. They take Daniel to a tent, bathe him, and groom him. The women then leave, and a beautiful woman, Shori, enters. She then starts undressing, and Daniel understands what is happening. This woman has been offered to him as an offering. He takes Shari out, but Kasuf sees this and understands this as Daniel rejecting Shari. He falls to his knees and starts apologizing. Upon seeing this, Daniel instead thanks Kasuf for Shari. The two return inside the tent, and Daniel shows Shari a drawing of the pyramid. Shari answers by drawing the symbol for Earth. Daniel asks Shari if she's seen the symbol somewhere in the city and asks her to take him there. Back in the temple, the soldiers have retreated inside to hide from the sandstorm. They soon start hearing an ominous humming sound, and the temple begins vibrating. Above them, a pyramid-shaped spaceship descends, landing in the massive pyramid. The temple trembles violently, and the soldiers are thrown to the ground. The ship finally lands, and everything becomes calm. The men spread out, sensing something in the temple. One by one, the soldiers start getting picked off by an unseen creature. They get whacked by a blunt instrument with some kind of electricity running through it. One of the soldiers manages to get a gun, firing at the creature, but he still gets bested. The attacker reveals itself as a human-robot hybrid with the head of a jackal, emulating the Egyptian god Anubis. Back in the village, Jack shows Skara a metal lighter. Skara is astonished by the small device that can create fire. The two then share a cigarette, but Skara starts coughing, and Jack laughs. Skara then comes closer and reaches for Jack's rifle, to which Jack immediately swipes his hand off and shouts at him. He scolds Skara, telling him the gun is dangerous. Skara runs away frightened. Jack is reminded of his son in the fatal shooting accident. Meanwhile, Daniel and Shori enter a cave with hieroglyphs Daniel can recognize. He then uses the inscription to have Shori teach him the language. Already learning the Egyptian language, Daniel learns quickly. Jack and the soldiers still can establish communication with the base camp, and Jack decides to look for Daniel. He asks Skara and some of his friends where Daniel is, and after a few attempts, Skara understands Jack. Skara takes one of the yaks and has it smell Daniel's jacket. Jack finds Daniel in the cave with Shari, and Daniel tells him what he's found. From the hieroglyphs, Daniel speaks of a traveler from distant stars, that being Ra, looking for a way to escape death. Ra escaped his dying world and is one of, if not the only, remaining descendant of his species. Ra found Earth, where he encountered early humans who worshipped him. He soon realized that a human body would give him a chance for extended life. He found a young boy, abducted him, and placed his mind in the boy's body. He then used the Stargate to bring thousands of humans to the current planet as a massive workforce to mine a mineral. The mineral has unique properties, making it suitable as a power energy source. A rebellion soon starts on Earth, and Ra's forces are quickly overrun. He escapes to this planet, and to prevent another uprising, outlaws reading and writing, making the people forget their history. In the cave, they find another stone tablet containing the 6 symbols required for powering up the Stargate. Daniel sees that the 7th symbol is missing and tells them they can't make the Stargate work without it. By dawn, the group decides to return to base camp. A group of boys led by Skara follows closely. The group arrives at base camp, seeing the massive spaceship. They rush into the temple and see signs of a battle. They notice something stalking them. They all hide. Anubis once again quickly picks them off one by one. He fires his staff, and an electric force throws back anyone who gets hit. Soon, only Jack and Daniel remain. They head to the lower section where the Stargate is located, and Jack opens the container where he hid the device earlier. He's surprised to see that Ra had taken the device. Metallic rings descend from the ceiling, and another human-robot hybrid teleports inside them, this time in the form of Horus. 2 other guards flank him, and Jack and Daniel surrender. Anubis and Horus take Jack and Daniel to Ra's throne room and force the two to kneel. Ra appears before all of them, followed by a posse of young boys kept as slaves. Ra shows Jack the device, and Ra says that they had brought the device to destroy him. Daniel identifies it as a bomb and questions Jack's true objectives on the mission. Ra orders Anubis and Horus to show themselves, and it's revealed that the two are humans. Ra also takes off his mask and appears as the young boy in the story from the hieroglyphs. Jack takes the opportunity and steals one of the gods' weapons and shoots them. Daniel tries to stop the fighting but gets shot, ending up with a hole through his body. Jack aims the weapon at Ra, but the children surround Ra and Jack hesitates. Jack gets disarmed and beaten, but Ra orders his men to stop. Ra sees Daniel's necklace and examines it. Jack then gets dumped into a jail cell with his men. Outside the ship, Skara sees 2 aircraft launching from the spaceship, heading for the town. Kossuth sees the ships and orders everyone to take cover. The ships rain fire upon the townspeople, punishing them for blasphemy. Horus and Anubis spare no one, firing on men, women, children, and the elderly. Skara runs back to the town and sees the devastation. Kossuth tells Skara that entertaining Daniel and the men had been a mistake. In the ship, Daniel wakes up in Ra's regeneration pod, the same pod Ra uses to maintain his immortality. Daniel sees that the hole in his stomach is healed entirely and heads out. Seeing Ra being dressed, Daniel tells Ra that he knows he had died earlier when he got shot. Ra tells him that the human body's ease of repair is the reason why he chose a human to be his host body. Ra then reveals he intends to send back the bomb to Earth, along with a shipment of the mineral, which would multiply the bomb's destructive power. Ra adds that he created human civilization, and it would be a fitting end if he'd be the one to destroy it. Ra tells Daniel that Jack and his men would be an example of anyone who wants to defy his rule. Ra orders Daniel to kill Jack and the soldiers in front of the entire town. Ra is concerned that the inhabitants of the planet might start seeing Daniel as another god figure to praise, and tells him there's only one true god on the planet. Ra yanks the necklace off of Daniel and threatens him that if he doesn't kill Jack and the men, then Ra would kill him. In the town, Shari tells Skara and the boys the true history of their people and their origin. The following day, everyone is gathered to witness Daniel killing the soldiers, but Skara reveals that he and the other boys are ready to fight back. Seeing this, Daniel turns and fires at Ra. A firefight breaks loose, and the crowd disperses. Everyone later regroups at a hidden location and gathers around a bonfire. Jack reveals that his primary mission objective is to identify any potential threats on the other side of the Stargate. If a danger exists, he will destroy the Stargate using the bomb to prevent an invasion on Earth. Later, Daniel sees Shari, and she tells him she's okay with being rejected. Upon hearing this, Daniel kisses Shari. Shari then sketches something on the wall. Daniel discovers that this could be the 7th symbol they need to access Stargate. That afternoon in the mines, they ambush Horus and disable him. Kassav tries to stop the rebellion, telling them the gods would punish them, but Daniel reveals to everyone that the gods are mere humans who possess advanced technology. Ra orders guards to send the bomb to Earth, but Skara and the boys intercept them. The guards check them one by one, and Jack reveals himself shooting the guards. Another firefight ensues, and casualties fall on both sides. Jack, Daniel, and Shari get trapped inside. The rest of the rebels are stuck outside, left to face the aircrafts raining fire on them. Jack finds the bomb and activates the timer, deciding to remain on the planet to destroy the Stargate as the team returns to Earth. A guard appears behind them and shoots Shari dead. Jack kills the guard, but Anubis appears via the teleportation rings. Daniel takes Shari to the regeneration pod. Jack is left alone to face Anubis, and they exchange blows, the two fairly matched. Outside, the soldiers and the boys are trying their best to battle the aircraft but soon run out of ammo. One of the soldiers decides to surrender and orders everyone to do the same. The aircrafts land and the pilots approach them. Daniel succeeds in healing Shari, taking her out of the chamber and bringing her back to the teleportation machine. Ra sees them and catches Daniel before he teleports. Ra grabs Daniel's head and uses alien powers to melt Daniel's brain. In the Stargate room, Jack somehow gets the upper hand and pins Anubis to the floor. He activates the teleportation rings and the rings descend on Anubis's head. At the same time, the rings activate on Daniel and Ra's side, distracting Ra, making him let go of Daniel. Daniel is quick to grab the necklace back. He and Shari teleport back, and Anubis's head appears in front of Ra. The pilots are about to execute Skara, the boys and the soldiers, but Kassav appears with the entire townspeople rallying behind him. They all charge the pilots and quickly overwhelm them. Seeing this, Ra decides to relaunch the ship. Ra leaves and Jack no longer needs the bomb. But Jack discovers that he can't stop the timer anymore. With seconds left in the clock, they decide to send the bomb to Ra's ship using the teleportation rings. As Ra's ship exits the planet's atmosphere, the bomb appears in front of Ra, and he's astonished to see it. Ra freezes, unable to react to the bomb as it explodes. The ship explodes with an incredible amount of force, and everyone back on the surface cheers. The team then prepares to return to Earth. Daniel decides he wants to remain in the planet, starting a new life with his newly beloved Shari. He gives the necklace back to Jack before he steps into the void beyond the Stargate.
Subscribe to watch more videos like this. Turn on notifications. And leave a like, it really helps the channel out. Thank you for watching.